I'm Dr. Melinda from Dr. Melinda Aesthetics, and today I will be sharing my beauty tips and tricks with you. And I'm going to show you my makeup routine as well as my skincare routine. So today I've already done my skincare routine, but I'm going to show you what I use. So let's just start with this one. Okay, so normally I like to use the Bright Gel Cleanser from my own range in the mornings and in the evenings, just to wash your face with, because this helps a lot with pigmentation. And I've actually just been to Turkey recently for a photo shoot. And of course, the photo shoot was done in the sun, so I have some pigmentation at the moment and I want to work on that. So my night routine is then also these Mela drops from Fusion. So I put that on, and then over that, I put this Fusion Glow Sleeping Mask on. So I don't use this all the time. It's just when I can see my pigmentation is a little bit bad and I need to do something about it. And then normally, on a normal day, I would also use the HA Renewal Serum. So we all know we want HA in our faces because that's what keeps us youthful. And then of course, the Firming Moisturizer. I also love to use this one because it helps to just keep you nice and youthful as well. So today I've already done my base for you, and what I use for my foundation every day is this Dr. Melinda Skin Tint. I love this. Before I came out with this, I was using other brands, but I saw that what it does is it made me look a little bit like dry, and when those the lines form like in these lines, the labial fold or your forehead. So that's what happened with that. And the reason I love this is because it's very dewy. It's very dewy, and it's a 3-in-1. So it's got your SPF in, it's got your moisturizer, and it's also a tint. So I also use it as a foundation. So I'll show you on my hand, like kind of what it looks like. So I'm gonna just place a little bit on here. So there's quite a lot that comes out, and that will be enough for your whole face. So if I just mix that, you can see how like dewy it is and how it goes into your skin. So it becomes like a part of your skin. So the only thing with this is just mix it very nicely and just make sure you get all the angles across your face. So that is what I then use, and it looks very dewy. So I love that. And then I use for my concealer, I like to use this L'Oreal one. I used to use this Fit Me Maybelline, but unfortunately they are discontinued. They have new ones, but it's completely different. It's got new numbers on it. So for now, I'm using the Cashmere 327 Infallible for my concealer. So that is what I put under my eyes, next to my nose and on my chin, and I just dab it. So something that I have to mention is for the makeup is the skin. So you want makeup to sit very nicely on the skin. And for that, you have to have good skin quality. And that's why we talk about the products that we use and why it's important. And other things that also helps me to have a little bit more of a tightened skin is the procedures that I do. So I do toxin on my own face, and it's actually amazing what toxin can do, especially if you put it in your forehead. It really smooths the skin out. It helps to minimize the pores as well. So it is a big game changer when it comes to putting makeup on your face. And I also remove the little hairs on my face as well, the fluff. I do it here with our therapist working here, just so that it's more smooth, and then the makeup also applies easier. Okay, so then what I'm gonna show you next is my next step. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my eyes. I love starting with my eyes. This is the brush that I use. I honestly don't know where I bought it. It's probably MAC, if I'm right. And then today I'm going to use my Mud makeup palette. So this palette is, I think, the Eye Color palette number 4. And why I love using this for my everyday is because of the colors that we have here, very neutral. So I love using 3 different colors on my eyes. I love like a softer one, a medium one, and then a little bit of a dark one. And I'll show you how I put that on my face in which order. So I'm gonna start with this one. So I'm gonna use that first. So the brush that I use, just make sure it's very light when you apply it. I think that's the one tip I can give you that I figured out, is that you should work very lightly. So it's very easy to make, those lines on your makeup that looks very funny and it doesn't blend nicely. This blends nicely, and this makeup specifically also blends very nicely, and that's why I like it. So I'm gonna start with this one, and I'm gonna work on the corners of my eyes. So just wanna mention, I've already placed the concealer on my eyes, and then I also used a powder. So this is Crayolan. It's a Derma Color Fixing Powder. So I just use my powder puff as well, and I just lightly dab it after I've put the powder in there, and then I just place it on all the areas where you can create creases, like, you know, the under eyes, the top of your lid. And then if at any point I see some strange line from my foundation, this is your best friend. So I got this from Wet n Wild. It is a blending sponge. So I will use that. So I can see there's a little bit of a line again there. So just before I start, I will just dab a little bit to get rid of that line. And of course, I always have these lines because I can't stop talking. I'm not quiet for long enough to have this settle without having those lines. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this. And I'm gonna start in the corner of my eye. So I like to work down and very lightly. You see how quickly you see color already without pressing too hard. So also what I like about this makeup specifically is that I've seen that it actually doesn't fall onto the face. So yeah, I'm doing very light strokes and I can already see a lot of pigment. So with this one, because it is the bottom layer that you're using, I like to go into the crease all the way to the eye, and you're gonna kind of put this all over the lid. You can actually put it over the entire lid, but I like doing this so I can have a little bit of a lighter area in the middle of the eye and place a little bit of glitter, but that I will show to you guys. And if at any point I see that I've gone over this line and it's just too dark here as well, I'll just wipe it with my finger because I like it to be a little bit lighter there for the light reflection to catch that, and then it makes your brows look like they're a little bit higher. I'm going to move on to a little bit of a darker shade, which is then the Canyon. So it is this color over here that I'm going to use. So just take a little bit of that, and I'm not going to go all the way like I did with the previous color. So I'm going to go from the corner of my eye, and I'm going to stay there. So I'm not going to go upwards. Just blot a little bit there. And then I'll go like a little bit up, but not a lot, because you don't want the whole eye to be dark, especially if it's like a day look and you want it to look a little bit more natural. Okay, so I've now made that a little bit darker. So of course, the most important is to blend. You want to just blend, 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 blend. That is the most important part, because I hate it when it looks streaky. Now I'm going to go to the darker shade. This is then the Berry Wood shade. So I like to use a little bit of like a purplish berry shade in the corner of my eyes as my last step. I just think it complements like brown eyes, because I've got green eyes, so like green, brown eyes. I've seen that a little bit of red looks very nice with that. So I'm going to use this and just put it literally in the little corner, just in the little corner. That's it. Like, you don't want to do too much of that. And then I would dab some of that away, so I can just gently blend it into the rest. Okay, so the next thing that I do is I take this brush. I don't know what you call it, but this is probably the best hack out there. This brush I got from, I think it was a P&A shop. So this is actually a paintbrush. This is what it is. Sometimes if I can't find a specific brush that I'm looking for, like the type of shape of the tip, you go there and you can get almost any shape in there, and it's obviously very cheap to do it that way. So this, yes, I got, I think, at P&A. This is the Black Silver by Dynasty number 6 that I'm using. So I'm going to go into the Berry Wood again, so the same color that I used, and I'm just going to rub it lightly on there. So what I want to do now is I want to create kind of like a wing, and it's not to do with the powder and not just necessarily with you know, straight on with eyeliner, because it can look a little bit harsh. So this blends it a little bit. So I'm going to go literally on the edge of my lid. So right there where my little hairs attached to my lid, I'm just putting a little bit there, kind of like I'm lining the eye, but you really want to stay as close to the lashes as possible. And then I go outwards with this as well, so up and out, to create kind of like that little bit of a wing on the side there. And then sometimes if you feel like you messed up a little bit, you went too high, I'll just do this. But I do this in any case because it just helps to create a little bit more of a blending in that area. So I'll just continue with that. And then sometimes if I feel like this isn't blended enough, I'll go back to my blending brush, which is my best friend, to just blend a little bit more. And now I'm going to do the exact same on the other side. Also just go on the lash line and then go out to create a little bit of a wing. I love doing a wing. You don't have to do a wing. I think it's just a part of my routine now for years, so I'm so used to it. Maybe it's a millennial thing, I don't know, but I do love a wing. And of course, the most important thing is to keep looking at both eyes to make sure that they are the same and they're symmetrical. You don't want them to look funny because it's easily noticeable. So I could see, for example, here, I see too much of the white still, so I'm just gonna bring that in a little bit. So it's a little bit more the same as the other side, and then also just blend this little line that I spoke about. Great, okay, so the next thing that I do is the little bit of a glitter on the inside of my eye. So I do a little bit of a mix for these two. So the first one that I use is the Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadow Bold 805. So this is what this one looks like. So I've used this for the inner side of my eye, and it's so nice and creamy. So that is just perfect. You can't really mess it up. And also it's not glitter that's gonna run onto your lower cheek. So I just use my finger for this one, and I literally just place it on my eyelid in the middle there. So you want to make sure that you go all the way to the eyelid where you can still feel your eyeball and towards the middle. And then over this, I put something else. So you know we all have a palette that we've been using forever that doesn't look as great anymore. So this is that palette. This is the 920 Revlon Color Stay Enigma. That I use. So if I open this, I'm going to show you the color that I'm going to use is that second color. So it's like that goldish color that I'm going to use, or like more of a bronze. So I take that same finger, I go in, and then I also just place that on top of that area where I placed the Revlon Bold, because I like a little bit of the copper color in there. And then also go to like the middle of the eye, but I mean, you can absolutely, at your discretion, decide. You can do a whole lid if you want to. I think a little bit more towards the lashes over here. Perfect, I hope that's okay. So now I'm gonna just blend again a little bit just to make sure that they are both equal on both sides. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is eyeliner. So eyeliner is the most difficult part for me. I hope I get it right the first time today, but a lot of the times I have to redo it. You know how the whole thing goes where you like put a little line and then it's a little bit more thick than the side and you have to add on that side, and then the side gets thicker and then you look like a raccoon at the end of the day. So I am going to show you what I use. So at the moment, I'm actually using this Love Liner liquid, but I got this from Japan. So this is not available in South Africa, but a very good alternative that I also use that I do find in South Africa is the L'Oreal Infallible Grip Microfine Brush Eyeliner. So this is what this one looks like. This is definitely one that's available. It is such a nice fine line. I can show you on my hand. It makes the nicest, finest lines ever. So it's so nice to use. So when I do my liner, I go very close to my actual eyelash. I literally use the side of the line and I just place it on top against my eyelash. For this one, I'm just gonna pick this up a little bit. I'm gonna now create the eyeliner on the side. This is probably the most difficult part. So I am gonna I'm gonna start there. Also just be very, very careful. Go slow rather than too much. And then I'll just connect it over here and then go a little bit more to the front and the inner corner. Yeah, so I'm actually using the Revlon one now, and it looks very nice. I'm going to go to the other side. Do the same, very close to the eyelash, like on that line. And then, okay, so see here exactly is what's happening when I don't like. I'm going to show you how to correct that then. So I made it very, very thick here, and it's also not nice and sharp, and I like to have it nice and sharp. I just quickly want to finish this one. Ooh, okay. So I can show you how to fix two of the mistakes I did. So the first one that we spoke about is that liner. So I always have some sort of baby wipes or facial wipes with me. I usually use the like baby bum wipes because they are the cheapest. And but this one's got micellar water in, which is very good for your skin. So I'm going to literally go in and just trace into that area, and now you just take away some of that blotchiness. Then I go in with this one. It still has like a little bit of the concealer on, so it's just going to make it blend the rest in again. And then I'm going to go in with this one again. Let's go here, and I'm going to aim a little bit higher this time. Yeah, because if you aim higher, the eyelid would look a little bit more lifted. So now I'm going to show you, I smudged a little bit in the corner. So how I fix that is I will just use any type of eyebrow brush, and I'll go in and kind of just do that to blend it in. Yes, and it normally blends in very easily. And then what you can also do is go back and take some of that glitter that you put in just to cover it up. So let's do that. Perfect. Okay. Now I want this one a little sharper. Okay, and this one I want to make the same as the other side. Okay, let's go in here again. Just once again, use my little sponge and then just blend the rest. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this on this side. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, perfect. It's not always gonna be exactly the same, and that is okay. That is okay. Great, so now we're done with the eyeliner. So my next step now is going to be the brows. So the brows was another area that I really struggled at the beginning to get right. They always say your brows shouldn't be sisters, but they should be cousins. So they shouldn't be exactly the same, but they also shouldn't look like they're not related at all. So naturally my one side is a little bit higher than the other side. And because I do have toxin in at the moment, it's great because I can't really move my face at all because of the toxin. So no one really knows if you're angry or not. That's the first important one. And the other one is that it just stays exactly where I want it. So I am going to use, I actually use some eyeshadow on this. So I'll use this MAC eyeshadow powder. It's called Espresso. So that's the one that I use. And I also just use this brush. So this is actually from Sephora. So this is a Pro Liner 22 eyeliner from Sephora, but you can also get this anywhere. This is just a normal like brow brush. See, I don't really know the proper names because I'm not a makeup artist, but you know this one that I'm talking about. So you can really get this in any brand. Okay, so first also you want to use your little brush comb to just comb the brush hairs so they are nice and perfect. And then you go in with this. So yes, mine did fall, so it is a little bit scattered. That happens all the time, but I still use it. It's still perfect. Okay, so now with the brows, I'm gonna go in here. So first, I start in the middle kind of, because that's where you have most of your pigment. You don't want to make it too dark in the middle. So I'll start on the side here, and then I'll just work my way on the edge of my brow. So you can be very dark, so you have to be careful. And then I always just try to make like these two lines parallel. So this one goes up a little bit more. Okay, so in the center of the brow, you want to go a little lighter because it looks nice to look a little bit more natural. Just want to see. I think that's okay. Perfect. So then in the middle, you're gonna go, like I said, a little bit lighter. And I like to just flick it up so it's natural. And sometimes I just like to draw little lines there as well. Perfect. And then I'm going to do the exact same on the other side. So I think I want to just comb this one again. Everyone has a good side and a bad side. This is my bad side. For some reason, this brow just sits lower than the other one. And it's more difficult to do makeup on. But everyone's a little bit asymmetrical, that's fine. So let's just go up here. And then, like I said, we make the little lines so it looks like little hairs. And of course, it's much easier if you do have those permanent tattoos on your brows, because then you just follow that for your eyebrow. Yeah, so let me just look from the front if they are the same. Well, kind of the same. I think they'll do. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the rest of my face. So I'm gonna do some contouring, which is very important, which I definitely struggled with at the beginning. Like, I was so envious of everyone that is able to contour. But one video that I saw, it was actually so cute. This woman kept saying, you must put. So we are gonna put some contouring today. Okay, so for that, I'm gonna use the Sparkle Mud makeup designery palette. So this is the palette there. So you have you know, your define and your chisel. So I like to normally mix these two a little bit because this is too dark and that's a little bit too light. And then this you can use as your highlighter. So let's start with that. So like I say, I take a little bit of the light and then I just touch this one. And then I will do my contouring. So start at the top of your ear, and then you just go down, and then I do the same on this side. And then blending is the most important part, because you don't want to look like you've got brown stripes on your face. So you just blend, and rather do a little bit too little than too much. That is like definitely a quote of mine. I say that every single day when it comes to aesthetics. I'd rather do a little bit too little, like a smaller amount of lip filler, than overdoing it, because you can always add, but it's difficult to take out. Okay, so I think that's good for this side. Then I'm going to do the same on this side. So define and chisel, and I'm going to go on these areas. And obviously, like, this works together so well with my industry. Because filler makes such a difference. Sometimes you can only, you know, contour that much, where if you don't really have, you know, nice defined cheekbones, filler can give you that. I have filler in my cheek. Well, actually, I think mine's worked out by now. Yeah, it's been like more than a year, so it's time again for that. But it's just so nice to have like a natural contouring, especially if you don't really want to go all out with your makeup today. You know, want to just have like a full contoured face. Just have a natural contour. You can actually get that with filler, and that lasts a year, which is amazing. So that is also definitely a cheat code to get your makeup to look even better. Okay, so like I said, blending is the most important. So someone will tell you that there is some sort of stripe on your face. And then I also like just to blend into the jawline a little bit, just for a little bit more definition. So I don't have filler in my jawline, but if I didn't have like a jawline, I would have definitely done the filler, because it makes such a huge difference in a face. Sometimes people don't even notice the difference that filler can make in the jaw angle. Everyone just wants to come do their lips, but I think chin is actually my favorite to do. So let's just make sure this is all blended. Great. And if ever you feel like it's not blended, or you feel like you did too much, once again, my best friend, I just go over it a little bit with this, all over those areas, just like the edges, so it just blends out nicely in the middle of the forehead, so we don't have it too dark. But it also depends on like how dark you want to look. Like naturally I don't have a tan because I don't get into the sun at all. So I will just put a little bit more of this on there as well. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so next step is the blush. I love a blush. I know some people don't even use blush. This is the Petal Power from MAC that I'm gonna use. And I like a pink, and I like quite a lot. And the thing with the blush is it does come off quite quickly. So you can go in and put a little bit more than you thought because it's not all gonna stay on there. So I'm just gonna take some of that on my brush. And then I like to start literally under my eye in the corner. And I just blend. Once again, I like to just press it like this and not go too hard because you can actually then just wipe away your foundation underneath and then it looks uneven. And then I just go in like little circles just to bring it a little bit more to the apple of the cheek. And then actually you can go into your hairline, like literally next to your brow. Okay, I'm gonna do the same on this side. So at the moment it might look like it's a little bit overdone. Sometimes it even looks more overdone than this one, especially if it's gonna be a long day where I'm gonna want to keep my makeup on for longer. So some days when I know, like I don't really care if there's like a little bit of a smudge or so, I won't even put my powder on to bake. But if you're gonna have a long day and you want your makeup to stay, then you're gonna use the powder. So obviously powder is gonna take away some of that little bit of a dewy, fresh look. But that's why you do other things on your skin as well. So it's not just the products that I showed you. So especially in winter when it's very dry, what I love to use is this product. So this is Vata A2K oil from Dr. Melinda Aesthetics. Sometimes I've got such dry skin. I don't know if you also get it, but like especially around the mouth area here. And then when you put your foundation or in the powders, it just looks so uneven and weird because you can literally like see the little skin wanting to flake. So I would literally put this all over my face. It's an oil, it's amazing, and I sleep with it. And then the next morning when I wake up, it's so nice and hydrated, and when I place my makeup, it looks so much better. Literally, a night can make such a difference for you. Okay, so now I'm just gonna once again look and see if it's blended enough. Yeah, I know this looks very pink at the moment, but I like my blush. Okay, so once again, you can go in with the sponge and just like dab the edges a little bit so it's not as overwhelming necessarily. Okay. Then you have to do the under eye lid, obviously. So once again, another tip that comes together with this and aesthetics is if you have indentations under your eye, it doesn't matter what concealer you're going to use, you're still going to see that dark shadow because the shadows catch in that area. And then that's when you look a little bit more tired. But filler under the eyes works amazing for that. So I do that in my practice almost every day, just so that it can bring it out because we lose volume as we age. So we just want to bring out that little indent a little bit so that it's nice and smooth again when you work. So I'm going back to my palette. So I'm going to go to the second color that we did on the eyes. And I'm just going to use this brush. So this brush doesn't have a name. I don't know where I got it, but it's like a little small brush that's like perfect to use like under the eye. So any like small brush should do the trick. So I'm going to go in here and then I'm going to do right under the eye. So you actually want to touch the eyelashes as you do it. Don't want to poke myself in my eye. I do that all the time. And I like to go through all the way. Once again, you can use this if you just want to blend it in a little bit. Perfect. And then I take the little bit of a darker shade, the berry one again, the berry wood, and do the same, but I'm going to do this one more just on the outside of the under eye. And then I'll blend it into the line of the, see, there goes the mouth. Oh gosh, show me one woman who can do this without opening her mouth. It's so funny. This should be studied. It's hilarious. Okay, so now let me just put that in a little bit more. Okay, so my next step is going to be my eyeliner. So The eyeliner that I use, so this is now for the wet border in the eye, is the Infallible L'Oreal Paris Gel Automatic Eyeliner. So this is what that one looks like. Okay, so I use this all over on the wet border of my eyes. So I start in the corner and just make sure like I get the whole waterline. Okay, and then I also like to do the top. It was so difficult to get used to this. It feels horrible, but it makes such a nice difference that I just do it. Sometimes your eyes want to water so much when you do it, but just like get the water away from your eyes. You don't want to now tear up and like make your eyes runny when you've just done your makeup. Just quickly as well, because I travel a lot for conferences and work, the best thing you can do for your skin is take care of it. Obviously on a plane is where skin gets terrible. It's so dry up there. So I love to take this probiotic skin mist with when I am on the plane, and I just spray it like a few times, maybe every 4 hours, just to keep all the bacteria and things away from your face. I know so many people that struggle with acne when they've flown. So this is my secret when it comes to that. Always have that with me. So now I'm going to move to the highlighter. Okay, so my favorite highlighter that I use is the Rare Beauty one. So it's called Enlighten. That is what it is called. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to use this one today because it really gives you a sparkle. Like some people might not like it sparkle this much, then don't use that. Use the one that's in your mud palette that I showed you. This one in the middle is a little bit more relaxed than the one I'm going to use now. But I use it in specific areas. So the first area I'm going to use it in is in the corners of my eyes. So I just open this up. Oh, it's so pretty, look at that. It looks like a pearl. It looks like a shiny pearl. So this is a new one, yes, that I opened just for you today because the other one cracked a bit. So I'm going to use this in the corner of my eye here and here as well. Like, don't be shy with the amounts that you use in the corners of your eyes, because I think that really opens up your eyes and makes it look very pretty. So I just dab it and I'll just stay in the corner. And then sometimes I'll even go a little bit up into the eyeshadow. I want to mix it a little bit. Okay, another area I use it is on the tip of my brow. So I just take a little bit, this brush. I got this on, I think, Temu. It doesn't have a name on it, but I just searched on Temu for a brush that is just like a small little brush. They have so many options. Any one of them will work really. So I just take that then, and then I go to the top of my, it just gives you a little bit of a shine in that area as well. Just want to make sure I have that one good. You can take it all the way through, but I like doing it just on the edge, right below the highest part of your brow. Okay, so then another area, of course, is the cheeks. So you want that shimmery feeling to catch the light, and then it looks like you are lifted more. So I just use my finger for this one as well. You don't have to take a lot because a lot goes a long way, yeah? So I just put a little bit on my finger, and then I go into this area and I just kind of put it on. Just make sure it is blended in nicely. Yes, once again, don't go too hard on that area. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is eyelashes. So I am going to use my Estee Lauder Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiple Volume Mascara. I'm going to use this one. Another tip or trick that you can use, especially if you don't want to necessarily use fake lashes, which I do use when I go to conferences or if I have photo shoots, you can use this. It is freaking amazing. It's a Lash Factor eyelash conditioner. So it's MD Lash is what it's called. I have an online store where I have all these products, and this is on there as well. So if you want to get it, you can't go wrong with this. You literally sleep with it at night. You paint it on the lash line with your little brush that's in here, and just like you would apply your eyeliner, and then you sleep with it, and It's a lash growth serum. So you will literally see the difference in your lashes, and at one point it will look like you have false eyelashes on. But I haven't been so good in using this. I have to start using it again. I think I just completely forgot, but that is crazy because this is such a good product. So that is what you can use to have that as well. And then I'm going to use the mascara. So mascara is pretty straightforward. I know some people do it from the top as well. I don't know, I can't, it's strange. So I'm gonna go just underneath to try and curl up the lash a little bit. So I go from the side. And this is an area you have to be quite careful not to get some of the mascara on your eyelid, because that happens all the time. So I'm gonna try not to rush this at all. And then I do also place on the bottom lashes as well. Very little. You don't want to have that smudge and then you look like a raccoon for the rest of the day. Okay, I think that's good. Next thing I'm going to do is the lippies, which is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to aesthetics as well. I'm going to use my Mud lip liner. So this is a lip pencil natural, that is the name of it. So this is what it looks like. And I know some people like to overline. I don't like to do that because I feel like I can see it, but that's why you do lip filler. So I think I did mine about a year ago as well, so I need a little bit more, but there is some lip filler in, and that also just helps the whole lip to be hydrated. You don't have to do lip filler to have bigger lips necessarily, but just to hydrate it, and obviously your lipstick and lip gloss will sit much evenly on it. So I'm gonna go here just with my own line. Just gonna follow that. And I like to make it a little bit thicker so that I can blend it nicely with whatever I'm gonna put in the middle. So now I'm gonna go in with my Dr. Melinda Lips gloss. This is a lip plumper, so it is amazing. I really love it. It's very medical, so it has hyaluronic acid in it. It has, you know, certain oils that you need in it. Helps to stimulate collagen. So this is very nice. Looks very natural and just give you a little bit of a plump. Obviously, there's a lot of colors, and this one that I want to use today is called Pastel Bloom. So I'm going to take this like that, and I'm just going to dab a little bit on this area. And then I'm going to use my finger to blend it in. So when you put it on, you can actually feel it's like starts to tingle a little bit, like as the vitamin C and everything is working to give you a little bit of a plumpness. And this also actually helps your filler to last longer. So if you do get lip filler done, get this stuff. It is amazing. I think it took me about 3 years to like finish the formulation of this and actually have it. So it's from Italy. So I would create it, send it back, let them send some samples, send it back until I tweaked it to be perfect. So now I'm going to use the other color in my range, one of the other colors. It's called Fairy Dust. This is what it looks like. It looks very pink, but it's not actually this pink. So this is actually more of a like a clear color. I'm going to just show you on my hand. See, it's very clear, so it's very nice. So if you don't necessarily want you know, a specific color, you want something clear to put over your lipstick, you can use that as well. So I'm just going to take that and just gently put it on. Perfect, and we've almost come to the end. Okay, so then obviously you want this to last as long as possible during the day. My favorite setting spray is this one. It is from Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I know you don't get this in South Africa, so that really sucks. One that I have used as well previously is the MAC setting spray, but I have to say, like, I haven't found one that works as well as this one yet, but that can be an alternative. So the nice one with this is sometimes with other ones, I feel like you can't really spray a lot because it can go onto the areas and make it a little bit blotchy, but this one you can spray a lot of it. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit over here. So all over the space. The more you spray, the longer it's gonna last. So I'm just gonna wait for this to dry in a second. Okay, I hope I didn't leave out any steps. See, now something that I did leave out that you can also do is you can also put a little bit of the highlighter like on the tip of your nose. It gives you like a little bit of a shininess there as well. to create a little bit of a lifted tip. So I'm just gonna place a dot on there. Obviously you can do that after the setting spray as well. And I think that is it. I think this is the look we're going for today. So this is maybe a little bit more done than I would on a normal day seeing patients. And obviously my hair is also in a bun when I see patients, but this is the go-to that I go for on my everyday. And when you look at this now, you can also, if you want to just, you know, blend a little bit more in those areas, you absolutely can. But this is the final look. Hope you like it.